We've spent more than 72 hours reviewing 16 of the best known company formation agents in the UK, and First Formations came out on top. So I'm going to show you exactly why they are so good, and I'm going to demonstrate the exact process you'll need to go through to set up your new company correctly with them. But first, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tips to help you start and grow a new company. Let's start with 5 advantages of First Formations. Number 1, they have exceptional customer reviews. We're talking near to maximum scores on both Trustpilot and Google. 2, they are very reasonably priced. In fact, for the basic package, you'll only pay a couple of quid more than the company's house registration fee. 3, they'll check your application for mistakes. There's a small fee for this, but it's well worth the extra peace of mind that it gives you. 4, they cater for virtually all types of companies, including registering a limited company as a non-resident. And number 5, did I mention that they're fast too? Companies are often registered within just 3 hours of submission. So that's all great so far, but what about the disadvantages? I'll be honest, we couldn't actually find many, but there were 2 that you should be aware of. Firstly, their prices do not include VAT, so make sure to factor in the extra 20% that will be added before you pay. And secondly, they provide a lot of information to help you complete your application correctly, and that can actually give you information overload. But there's no need to sound the alarm bells. I'm going to show you the step-by-step process right now, so stay with me as it'll only take a few minutes and it will help you to avoid any mistakes once you get started. Just before we dive into the process that you'll go through on First Formations, let me just quickly show you our website because there's some really useful information on here for you. So if you go to the company formation agent review page, you can see the different formation agents that we've looked at. So there's 16 on here at the moment. You can read reviews of each one. You can sign up for a free PDF guide that will talk you through the entire formation process. So things like how to assign shares, what your director needs to do, what their responsibilities are, that kind of thing. There's also a quiz here that you can complete, answer 5 simple questions, and you'll get a recommendation as to what type of company is best for you and which formation agent is giving you the best package. You can also click through and read our full First Formations review. But let's get back to First Formations and see exactly what the process is that you need to go through. So you can see when you land on the website, you've got this big search bar here. This is where you look for the company name that you want to use. So for the purpose of this video, we'll just go into search for the company Exemplator, and you click search, and that directly links with Companies House to check whether the name is available, and in this case it is. So that's great. So click save and continue, and then you come through to this screen, which is where we choose our company formation package. You can see it's defaulted to a limited company because that's the type of company most people want to form. However, there's all other different options here. There's LLP, limited by guarantee, and PLC options as well. The 2 other ones that I just want to focus on very quickly, and we'll come back to the limited company ones in a moment, but first up is the non-residence package. So there's a specific package if you are wanting to form a UK business but you are not a UK resident. For this, you get basically everything that you need to get that company set up. That's things like the banking, which can actually be really problematic if you're not a UK resident, yet every UK business does need a dedicated bank account. So this solves that problem. It gives you that bank account. It gives you registered offices. So it gives you the address that you can use for your business and the people involved in it. So it's got everything that you need as a non-resident to form a UK company. If you're selling directly on places like Amazon and eBay or via your own e-commerce website, and that is where the bulk of your transactions are, there is a dedicated package here, the eSeller package, that is made specifically for your type of business. Otherwise, the vast majority of people will need to be on the limited company tab, the one that it defaulted to at the start. And you can see here there's different packages to choose from. We're going to take a very quick look at the differences between them. So starting out with the digital, so this is the most basic package offered, and that fee is actually only 99 pence higher than what it costs you to form the company with Companies House anyway. You can see just here, Companies House, £12 filing fee included. So it includes that cost for an extra 99 pence. You get everything done and submitted for you. The only thing to keep in mind there is that there is VAT to add on top of this price here. But otherwise, it's basically a digital offering. So you get your company formed and electronic documents sent through to you. Now that will be fine for a lot of people because you can take these email documents and you can print them yourself. The next package up is the privacy package. And that's just a few pounds more, and it gives you everything from the digital package, but it also gives you an email copy of your company registered with the first entries. That's a legal documentation that you need to complete. And it also gives you a registered office service. Now, this is really important if you do not want your home address to be made public and you do not have any other address that you can use. This service will give you that registered office address for a full 12 months. You can hover over the little eye icon next to any of these to get lots more information about what they are. But on the registered office address service, after the first year, you'll pay an additional £39 plus VAT each year to renew the service. Now, you don't have to renew it. You can cancel it after a year. Equally, you can get the service address. So registered office is attached to the business. The service addresses are attached to the individuals. So if you're being listed as a director or a shareholder, you can use this service to basically maintain your privacy. Your home address will not appear on any public records. Again, after the first year, you will need to pay to renew this. And then just to very quickly go through the other packages on offer, we've got professional, prestige, and all-inclusive. So let's start. The professional one includes everything we've already discussed, plus you get your first confirmation statement filed. So each year you'll need to complete a confirmation statement. There is a small fee attached to that. This covers it. The next option is the call answering and business telephone number. You get a printed copy of your certificate of incorporation and your share certificates. Then the next package up, remember the prestige, everything we've just discussed, plus you get a business address service. So this means that you can then use the address as a correspondence address. So if you need people to write into you or you want to use it for dealing with other businesses, they will write to your business address service and that will get forwarded onto you by First Formations. Plus you also get your VAT registration. Now you'll need to register for VAT once your turnover exceeds £85,000 a year. This package includes that registration and you can use it at any time. And then finally the all-inclusive package again includes everything that we've discussed so far, but you also get PAYE registration. Really useful if you need to pay yourself or anybody else any salary. You get a GDPR compliance, you get 12 months cancellation protection, and you get a company secretary service as well. I'd recommend hovering over each of these just so you can make sure that you understand exactly what it is and whether you need it. So for now, we're just going to go through to the privacy option. So we'll click that and here you can see all of these additional services, how much they cost and the option to add them. Now most of them are the same as what we've just seen within the packages screen on the previous page. However, there are some that should be noted are new that haven't been shown to you so far. Guaranteed same day service is one example, $29.99. And as long as you submit your company formation before 3 p.m, they guarantee that your company will be formed the same day. And then another thing just to point out on this right hand side is you have this pre-submission review. So this is where they will check your application for any mistakes. Now obviously they can't check things like whether you've got a date of birth wrong or you spelled a name wrong or something like that, but it will check that you've assigned the shares and you've set things up correctly within the realms of what a typical business would be doing. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to remove that and you'll just need to click the I agree to terms and conditions. And the next step is basically to check out. So we need to pay for this first and then we come back in and we complete all of our company details. This is explained in the green box here, and it's also worth pointing out that there is a money back guarantee in operation. So for now we're going to go through to the checkout. It's showing exactly what's included in the package that we've ordered and the price that you'll be paying. You can see the VAT has been added on top of the prices that we saw on the previous screen. If you're a new customer to First Formations, you'll have to create a new account, so give them your email and a password, and you'll also need to complete your billing details and enter your card details as well. And then once you're ready to proceed, you can pay for the order. Once you've completed the checkout, you'll see this screen. So this confirms the company name that you're using, so Exemplator in this case, but it does give you the warning that you need to add limited or Ltd onto the end of the company name. So this is because we're forming a limited company. Now you can choose either, it doesn't actually matter, but whichever one of these you choose, whether it's the abbreviated form of Ltd or the full form of limited, is your legal company name, and you will need to use that in the future. Personally, I prefer to just use Ltd because it just shortens it, just makes it that little bit easier. It's a limited by share company in England and Wales, so that's fine. And then we need to select our SIC code. So this is about our business activities. Now this can be a little bit tricky sometimes if your business is a little bit more unusual. There's some information that you can get by clicking on the little I there. Your company will fall under one of these categories. So you'll need to select the one that is the most relevant to your business. And this just categorizes your business with Companies House so they know what type of business you are. So remember, when we checked out, we chose the option that had our registered office and service address included. So you can see it's included this here. If you are not doing that, it will ask for the address that you want to use as your registered office, and you will insert that here. You can also choose a forwarding address. This is where any mail and important information will be sent. And then we come into the appointments. So this is where we need to appoint the people involved in the business. So we will need to add an officer. So if you are both a director and a shareholder, you can tick those boxes here. You could also be the company secretary. Again, you can click on the I icon for any extra information. We're going to put that word person with significant control. This is somebody who's got more than 25% of the company. So if you are a sole director or there's only you and somebody else involved in the business, then the chances are that box will need to be ticked. And then we just need to tick that box there as well. So in this case, we're ticking all of the boxes. You would just tick whichever ones apply to each individual, and you need to enter the details of each individual person as you go through the application. So then you can complete all of this information. So you can see it's asking for the title, the names, date of birth, nationality, occupation, your residential address. This actually doesn't show on the public record. And then we've got authentication questions, and all you need to provide are the first 3 letters for each one. Then you'll come through to the service address. So this is the service address for that individual that you've just added. Now remember, in this package we've got it included. If not, you'll need to enter the address you want to use here for public record, and you'll need to choose a forwarding address to make sure that any statutory mail can reach you. Once you've done that, you can click next, and that will bring you to the nature of controls. Now this section can look confusing at first, but really it's not that complex. But basically, Companies House wants to know, does this officer have a controlling interest in the company? So do they have any shares? Well, yes, they do, because we've listed them as a shareholder. So how much of the company will they actually own? So is it more than 25% but not more than 50%, more than 50% but not less than 75%, or 75% or more? In this case, it's going to be 75% or more because we're sole director and shareholder. Do they have any voting rights? So again, this is how much say they have in the company. And in this case, it's more than 75%. And can they appoint or remove the majority of the board of directors? And the answer is yes, because they're sole director. Does this officer have the controlling influence over a firm and the member of that firm, which also has controlling influence in this company? No, because there isn't anybody else. Does this officer have a controlling influence over a trust or trustees? And the answer to this one is no. Now, this is where it can get tricky. If you're not quite sure on the answers of these for your individual circumstances, there is the option to open up a live chat with First Formations and contact their support. If you're not sure, it's worth doing, but remember there is also the review service that you can take advantage of as well. So once you're happy, you click next, you go through to the actual shareholdings. Now this can be really any kind of setup that you feel comfortable with. The most common way to set it up is to issue 100 shares. And the reason for that is because 1 share then equals 1% share of the business. So it's really, really easy. If, let's say, in the future, somebody comes in and wants to have 10% share of the business, you know straight away they need 10 shares. Just makes it much easier to calculate that kind of thing. But actually, it could be anything you want. It could be 1 share, it could be 1,000 shares, whatever you feel is best. But if in doubt, go with 100. And the price, again, can be anything you actually want. But £1 per share is the most common because it's a nominal value, but it keeps things really simple. You can then also add details to the particulars. So what rights are attached to those shares? In this case, you get full rights. That's kind of the default one. That will be right for the majority of businesses. So unless you need something different, you can go ahead and save that. So you can see that save the shareholdings. So we can click next. And that's all of the appointments that we wanted to make. So now we can scroll down. You can see it just kind of confirms everything. We can click save and continue. If you wanted to add more directors or shareholders, that's the point where you would do it. Then you move on to the legal documents. Now they include a generic limited by shares articles of association here. Click save and continue. And then we come through to the business essentials screen. So this is basically some other add-ons and services that you may or may not require. And then we'll get the chance to review all of the information that we've put into the system ready to submit. Once you're happy, you can click save and continue and get that company submitted to Companies House. Check out the description for a link to our full review of First Formations. You can also download a free PDF that outlines the entire company formation process step by step. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.